Hello, YouTube! Welcome to another 5-Minute Friday. It's been a minute. I published a poll asking what you guys wanted to see next, and the winner of the poll was Blue Iris and Deep Stack integration with Home Assistant. So today's topic is Home Assistant companion app notifications, including images and actions. What? What happened to Blue Iris? More on that and info about where I've been at the end of the video. All right, 5 minutes on the clock. First up, we've got a 2022 Templeton Barrel Strength Rye. Coming in at 114.6 proof, it's a very tasty pour and quite economical as well. If you're a rye fan, this one won't disappoint. All right, now to the meat of it. Mobile notifications. You guys have seen me use these before. I set them up in previous videos. Set them up to alert me when temperatures get too high, when temperatures get too low, or when there's a water leak, all kinds of stuff. My initial use case that started this video was to send mobile notifications every time someone rang one of my doorbells. That was easy enough. Then I wanted to get an image in the notification so I can see who rang my doorbell. That was cool. But then I wanted to be able to just push a button and have the door unlock or the garage door open and a message play on the doorbell speaker that says, "Come on in." Pretty slick, huh? Let's take a look at how I do it. Now, a quick word before we get started. There are some subtle differences between Android and iOS devices when it comes to notifications. However, I only have Android devices here, so you'll need to refer to the docs for the specifics if you're an Apple fan. I'll throw a link in the description for you. The differences aren't really that bad, but it's hard for me to demonstrate them to you without a device here to use, right? Let's just get into the automation. Here, you can see the trigger of someone ringing my doorbell. First up, I play a TTS message over my Google Nest Minis because I don't actually have a doorbell chime. I'll throw a link to that video in the description in case you missed the video where I set those up. Next, I take a snapshot of the doorbell camera. Camera snapshots are super easy. You just call the camera take snapshot service, specify which camera you want a snapshot of, and then provide the path to save the file. I'm saving to config www.frontdoor.jpg. Then, I send a notification to my mobile device using the notification service. For image, enter the URL to the image location that you saved the snapshot to. If you're not sure if you have the URL right, you can just copy paste it into a browser. Then, under the Actions section, the first action I have is a URI, and the title is Open Camera. If I tap that button on the notification, it'll take me to a view on my dashboard that shows me the front doorbell camera and a button to unlock the door. This is useful in case I'm unable to make out who's at the door in the small notification photo. Below that, I have another action called Unlock Door. It's very important that the action be in all caps, but the title can be whatever you like. The title is the text on the button that displays in the notification. Next, there's an action that waits for the mobile event to be fired. I set the timeout on this to be 2 minutes and do not continue on timeout. This means that Home Assistant will wait 2 minutes for me to click to unlock the door, and if it doesn't hear back from me in 2 minutes, it will stop processing actions. Now, the event type is mobile_app_notification_action, and the action is unlock door, which matches what I specified above. Then, all I have to do is create a bunch of actions that I want to happen if I click that button. In this case, I unlock the front door, delay for 2 seconds to make sure the door is unlocked, and then play a message over the doorbell speaker that says, "Come on in." Now, you may have to mess with this a little bit for your specific doorbell, but for my Ubiquiti doorbells, I couldn't get it to work if I put the file on my Home Assistant server. I did a bunch of research, and apparently there's an issue with the way that Ubiquiti doorbells and Home Assistant handle SSL. I'm not entirely sure, but it seemed plausible since I do have HTTPS configured on my Home Assistant server, and I couldn't get the announcement to work reliably when the WAV file was on my Home Assistant server. So I just threw a web server up on one of my other internal systems and put the WAV file there so the doorbell could get to it via HTTP, and it works great. Anyhow, the file is just a WAV file that I created of me saying, "Come on in," and then copied to the server. Then at the end, I sent a notification to both mine and my wife's phones that the front door has been unlocked. Boom! Super easy. We'll see how close we got to 5 minutes once I edit everything, but here's hoping. All right, now listen. I know I covered a lot today, and I covered it quickly. If you don't want to have to pause the video and type all this code in yourself, my patrons have access to it over on patreon.com. Stop in, support the channel, and get access to all sorts of exclusive benefits such as access to code, full access to my configuration, automations, and dashboard YAML files, early access to ad-free videos, free t-shirts, and access to the FHT Discord channel where you can get real-time one-on-one help with problems and more. Win-win for everybody. Check the description for a link if you're interested in helping out, and thank you. So, for those of you that are interested in the rest of the stuff, where the hell have I been? And also, what about the Blue Iris fiasco? Yeah. Long story, but the short version is I ordered an Intel NUC 11 Enthusiast since I'm kind of a fan of NUCs. I ordered that one because it has a built-in NVIDIA 2080 card, and you need an NVIDIA card if you want to do GPU offload of deep stack processing. I did this because the current system I'm running Blue Iris on can't keep up anymore with the number of cameras I have, so I had already planned to upgrade. That current system is an i5 NUC without an NVIDIA card, and it also runs my Plex server. Mostly because I'm old school and still use MP3s to play music. Well, okay, I'm not really old school. I just spend a lot of time in places without cell phone coverage when I'm fishing or traveling, so streaming services are a non-starter for me. Anyway, since I already maintain a music collection for that reason, I set up a Plex server to be able to play all that same music all around the house. And when I say all around the house, I mean all around the house. I know a lot of people are fans of using smart speakers like She Who Shan't Be Named, or various Google devices, or Sonos, or whatever, but for me, there's just something to be said for wired systems with high quality speakers. So when we bought this place and remodeled, we had some drywall somewhere open in almost every room of the house. So we added Klipsch in-ceiling speakers all over the place. There's a volume knob on the wall in each room. Even though I've got control of volume via Home Assistant, that's great so that guests can quickly and easily turn down the volume. For example, say the music's a little too loud during a party, they're having trouble having a conversation, they just turn it down a little. Otherwise, all the rest of the controls are on the dashboard and Home Assistant. I had to write all these media players from scratch because the volume controls on the built-in media players didn't go above 0, which left quite a bit of gain on the table for the receivers that I'm using. But all that stuff is another video. I'm getting sidetracked here. Sorry. Anyway, I figured what better time to make a video about Blue Iris and DeepStack than when I have to rebuild it. So I added that option to the poll, knowing that I'd be doing it soon. I didn't actually think that would be the most popular choice though, since it seems to be a bit dated and somewhat unpopular, I thought, in terms of integrations. Anyhow, the NUC showed up a couple weeks ago. Now, when I tell you guys that I really do spend a lot of time sorting out all the complicated stuff to make it as easy as I can for you, believe me, I really do spend a lot of time on that. Getting it right is very important to me. So I did. I spent all day, the entire day, that Saturday, trying to get that damn thing working. I messed with it until 2 a.m. But the NUC, it had other ideas. It blue screened 5 times before Windows setup even completed. Once I finally got into Windows, the vendor that was selling it on Amazon hadn't even bothered to load any of the drivers. So in between blue screens, I tried to load the drivers, thinking that would make things better. No improvement. I even reinstalled Windows from scratch, thinking maybe they used a bad image. No joy. Something was wrong with the hardware, so I returned it. But look for a really quick unboxing video at some point, and also about how to add an M2 drive to a NUC 11 Enthusiast. I did film that since I added the second drive before getting started with the rest of the project. At least I got something out of that miserable experience. Anyway, after I returned it, I ordered a pile of parts. Then someone in the Amazon warehouse screwed me and didn't put the processor in the box, but claimed that they did, which led to another delay while I got the processor. This whole Blue Iris thing has just been a project from hell. Anyhow, I'm building a 4U rack mount NVR with an NVIDIA RTX 3060 in it to handle my Blue Iris duties. Well, sort of. That's what the new system's going to end up being anyway, but that's not exactly what I've ordered, as you may have seen from the photo. Some of the parts are new for the new NVR, like the case obviously, and some of the parts are to upgrade my video editing system. As the channel grows and the quality of my videos continues to improve, the more taxing it's getting to be on my video editing system. To make life easier and faster, I decided that rather than buy some relatively mediocre parts for the MVR and not really save much money, I'd just upgrade my video editing system and reuse most of that for Blue Iris and DeepStack. The cost difference was only a couple $100 versus the mediocre hardware, and this will serve me much better in the long run. And you guys too. It'll be awesome, and I will be making a video from it. Probably several videos as I get to working on it. I'm partway through now, but we'll get there. Anyhow, I hope I was able to show you guys something new, and I hope you're digging the channel. I hope you liked today's shirt, link in the description, and I hope you found the content today valuable. Please go ahead and give that like button a smack for me to tell YouTube that this was a good video, and if you'd like to see more of my content in the future, please go ahead and subscribe. If you ring that little bell, you'll be one of the first to know when I publish new content, except for my patrons who will know a day early and won't have to sit through YouTube ads. Thanks for watching, and until next time, go automate something, will ya?